Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Tarashi here, and today we are actually kind of doing a speed build. I know it's Monday, but this is a house I eventually do want to use for the 100 baby challenge that we're doing. And so, honestly, I built this house back in April, so there were some things that I went back in and did a couple of changes, and you'll kind of see those at the end. There may be some of the screenshots that are still the same from whenever I originally built this. But I was using a floor plan that I found online, just trying to find a huge, I think it was like a 4-bedroom home that I was looking at. But anyway, this is the layout that I had found, obviously doing some changes because there was actually garage area on one side, and I don't worry about garage areas in The Sims. I don't think any of us really do. But yeah, this is supposed to be like an ideal type 100 baby challenge house that I decided to try to build for myself for my challenge. If you guys want to use it, go ahead. It is on the gallery under TarashiSims. But yeah, just go ahead and download it if you want to use it. It took so long to figure out the layout and how I wanted to actually do some of this, because yes, I used a layout that I found online, but you know, sometimes that doesn't work out exactly the same way in The Sims, as we all know. And now with Eco Lifestyle out and that update that we got right before it came out, watching me place those doorways was honestly kind of funny to watch. It's like, I could fix that right now if I wanted to. I didn't fix it. I didn't think about it. You know, it happens. But anyway, most of the things that I wanted to make sure I included in this house were inspired by PeaFrogSims, her video on tips of how to win the 100 baby challenge. And so I was taking a lot of those tips and trying to incorporate a lot of those things into this house, so that way whenever we finally do move into this house, we have the necessary things that we're going to need for that. One of the big things was a little window seat over by the kitchen, so that way toddlers will just go hop over there on that seat instead of walking all the way back to their bedroom to eat, which we all know they would, or they would move all the way to the living room and on the couch. But if there's a chair closer, more than likely they should go there instead, but you know how that works too. As far as the bathroom goes, I obviously went for more of a community style bathroom using stuff from university, because I honestly figured that would make things a lot easier. I'm pretty sure The Sims do not get embarrassed by using those bathrooms or those toilets whatsoever, so that's why I used them. Honestly, you need plenty of bathrooms, you need plenty of showers. If you don't, you're kind of setting yourself up to not do so well in this challenge, and that's just kind of how it is. So I wanted to make sure that there was plenty of toilets and shower stalls. I know that The Sims likely will not use that little dining room space, but they might. You never know. I figured I'd have it there just in case somebody wanted to use it. Now, one of the big things that Katie had suggested in her video was to have a focus room, basically. So you fill the room with a bunch of like focus items, so that way The Sims will, because if your kids are focused while they're doing their homework, they'll actually get it done faster. And so that's why you fill the room with posters and stuff that have the focus trait with them, so they'll get it done faster. But also, I mean, I didn't add it yet, but I did also add a chess table in that room, so that way our matriarch could go in there, play chess for a couple minutes, and then she could actually help the kids with their homework, and that'll even speed it up even faster. Now, I wanted to make sure that I had a playroom area set up for the toddlers, specifically for like skill building and stuff like that. So I made a little playroom right next to their bedroom. The room on the right will be their room. But they've got imagination skills, they got the communication with the bears, they've got the reading, we've got books if we want to read to them, if we ever get a chance to do that. Plus there's blocks, which is good for movement and thinking once they get their thinking up to level 2. And then I just made sure that we had a separate, like, I guess it would be like a guest room bathroom, and it happens to also be the bathroom where we're going to be potty training all of our toddlers and stuff like that. I've become obsessed with getting those little details on there, the little soap bar and the toothbrushes. and I don't know why I still have not figured out the correct placement for those, so that way I don't have to fiddle with it a million times before I figure it out. But anyway, this main big open area is the living room space. It's also a little office space for our matriarch, but it could also be used by some of the kids. So there's going to be a computer in there, there's a woodworking table, just so we can figure out like what skills we want to actually work on, a couple of different ways of making money. You never know. I mean, our first matriarch right now is mostly earning money by painting and gardening, and I am trying to get her more into writing, so I was trying to think of that while I did this too. I just finished building it, but there's a nursery back there, and the nursery, I just went ahead and made a small little like nursery type area, so that way I could actually lock all the other Sims out of that room. So that way nobody's getting in the way whenever I try to go take care of the babies. That was another one of Katie's tips. Make a baby room. So that way nobody is bugging the babies, because every single time they start crying, your teenagers will go over there and start cooing at them. Same with the kids. Toddlers not so much, obviously, but your other kids will go in there and just start cooing at them, which does nothing, because most of the time they're hungry or they need their diaper changed, and nobody else will automatically do those things, and I don't know why. I wish I did. Make sure you get those beds if you're doing the 100 baby challenge. Okay? They have an energy level of 3. It's the only toddler bed that has that energy level. It will help you out so much. They don't have to sleep nearly as long, and they'll get their rest up a lot quicker. I mean, sometimes you just kind of wish that they would just sleep for a while, but anyway, you do need to work on getting their skills up as quickly as possible, so that way they can become children and then move out. That's the whole point of the challenge. You don't want toddlers very long, or any kids very long, if we're being honest. And then I was just trying to make sure that the matriarch's room was well decorated, so that way she was in a happier mood, and I made sure to get her one of the more expensive beds, so that way she'll be more rested anytime she sleeps there. That's another thing. It's kind of hard to be taking care of kids, cooking, cleaning, making money, and all that if she's sleeping all the time. One of the big things that made me decide to do a single story home was so I didn't have to worry about stair placement and putting a gate around the stairs, so that way the toddlers weren't trying to climb the stairs to go wake their siblings up. I mean, that's the one bad thing about it being on the ground floor, but I guess I could always put a gate up in between the teenagers and kids' rooms. Like, there's a separate hallway specifically for their stuff, so I could always put a gate up, and while we have toddlers, just make sure the toddlers can't go through there. Of course, that would mean I would have to remember to unlock the gate for them once they age up, which is highly likely that I will forget. Let's be real a second. But I mean, it's an option if we wanted to do it that way too, so that way they still weren't bugging their siblings. But mostly didn't want to deal with stairs because it takes toddlers so long to go up and down the stairs. Not even funny. But yeah, I just was trying to make sure that the house was very well decorated. We had everything we needed. Like I said, I was adding some focus items in the homework rooms, so that way the kids would finish their homework faster, so that way we can work on other skills and, you know, get their grades up quicker too. Now, I did not make a separate area for them to like do projects and stuff, since I do have parenthood. But honestly, I think there's enough open space in this main room of the house that we could always just line a section of it with projects for them to do, or there's even plenty of outdoor space. Like, I'm about to make a patio, and on that patio we could just line the projects there, and if we need to, we can always just like cover that up more, so that way they're not like out in the rain or in the storms or anything like that. But you know, we'll cross that bridge when it comes. But that's the thing with building, and especially building houses for challenges and stuff like that. It's going to change. You're gonna come across things that you didn't think about while you were building, and so you have to make those adjustments as you go. So this is just a rough start of where I wanted our next house to be for whenever we get to this point. Honestly, I may go ahead and have her move here once we've earned enough money to move here. But first, I really need to get her gardening up. We need to really just start making money doing whatever at this point. She's not making enough money for us to move here yet. I think this house ended up being around 147,000, something like that. Right around 150,000. So I don't know how close we are to actually being able to move here, but I would like to. But we need to earn some more money first. And one way to do that is to increase the size of our garden, so that way we can plant more dragon fruit as we get it. We also need her to get some more levels in writing, so that way she can get some daily royalties. So I need to figure out how I want to do that as well, because I really would like her to get some daily royalties from writing. That's the whole reason I wanted her to do it, just in case there was a day that we couldn't just like sit down and paint. But I really like the way these kids' rooms turned out. They definitely took a while for me to actually decorate and do, and I hope you guys like them too. I tried to make one bed at least in each room that wasn't like super girly or super sporty or anything like that. But I don't know, it's like, this is supposed to be a teenage girl's room. There's a lot of girls that get super girly once they hit teenagers, and so I was kind of leaning towards that. But you know, there's also those girls who are not even close to girly, myself having been one of them. I still don't like wearing dresses or really even the color pink. I don't mind like very pastel-y pink, but I definitely do not like hot pink at all. Like, no. But I really do like the way these rooms turned out, to be honest with you. I don't think they're too feminine, too masculine, and I mean, obviously there's a lot of pink in this room, but you know, it is what it is. I was just trying to make sure we had a separate kids room and then a couple extra rooms for our teenagers. Now, obviously, if we somehow end up with more than 4 teenagers or whatever, somebody will obviously have to continue sleeping in the kids' room. I mean, it's not going to happen very often, though. We're mostly going to have kids and toddlers, not so much teenagers, because I feel like once they get to teenagers, it's like they get their skills super duper quick, and before you know it, they're out of the house, even though it's so nice having teenagers that it's like, do I have to make you do your homework? I just want you to stay and help out. Or at least that's how I feel most of the time. But yeah, I was trying to make sure there was plenty of skill building items for the kids in their rooms as well, because sometimes they just need to work on their skills. And so, yeah. But these kids can go in and out of each other's rooms. So if there's a skill that somebody else likes, if we have a girl that ends up becoming like a gamer or something, she has access to the video games in her brother's room. You know, no big deal. Or if she's interested in playing guitar, there's a guitar and a violin in the other room. You know, just, I mean, it's not like they aren't allowed in each other's rooms. So they can still have access to all those skill building items. It's just a matter of whether or not they go in there to do it. Now we move on to the outside and just kind of doing some of the landscaping here. I don't know why, but I recently had gotten into like lining the house with hedges, and so that's what I was working on here. And yeah, and then I like doing this like mass mix of the flowers and stuff, just like layering a bunch of the grass and the flowers together to make it look really pretty. But here's that patio space I was talking about. There's plenty of room out there for us to do a big project area if that's what we need. And then there's also, of course, the greenhouse, because that is one of my big tips for 100 baby challenge, especially if you're going to do gardening. Have a greenhouse. That way everything's sheltered and you don't have to worry about anything being out of season, because honestly, if you're anything like me, you probably don't pay attention to the seasons as much as you probably should for gardening, so I just make it a rule of thumb to have everything sheltered so I don't have to worry about it. There are some plants that will grow year around. It's just a matter of figuring out which ones those are. Now, I did make some changes in the greenhouse. I added the self-watering ones from Eco Lifestyle because honestly, I hate watering. I feel like that takes forever to do in The Sims as far as gardening goes. So I just kind of cut that out by adding that. Not to mention I hadn't really played with the new ones that much, and I really wanted to. So there's that too. But yeah, here's the layering of the flowers like I like to do, especially with like the grass, the daisies, and then the flowers on top of it. It just, I don't know, it looks really pretty to me, and that's just kind of become a thing that I do all the time now. I think I'm going to leave you guys with music for the rest of this speed build. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like, leave any comments down below, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every Monday and Friday, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!